Not everyone will understand you, and that's a good thing. As a Sigma female, you don't live by society's script or seek validation to define your worth. You are independent, strong-willed, and entirely comfortable in your own skin. While others chase attention and approval, you focus on something deeper: genuine connection, real compatibility, and a love that aligns with your values. But here's the truth. Most people aren't ready for that. You've probably been told you're too independent, too selective, or too intense. Some mistake your self-sufficiency for emotional distance, while others assume you don't need anyone because you're comfortable on your own. And while it's true that you don't need a relationship to feel complete, that doesn't mean you don't want one. It simply means you refuse to settle for anything less than mutual respect, depth, and authenticity. So how do you find love without compromising who you are? How do you recognize a partner who truly values your independence? How do you set standards that attract, not push away, the right people? How do you balance strength with emotional connection? And most importantly, how do you build a relationship that adds to your life rather than limits it? This isn't about following outdated dating advice or lowering your standards to make things easier. This is about attracting a love that matches your strength, respects your space, and enhances your life, without ever compromising your identity. Subscribe to the Sigma Sisterhood channel, because real women don't settle. They attract the love they deserve. 1. Recognizing a partner who truly values your independence. One of the biggest challenges a Sigma female faces in dating is finding a partner who genuinely appreciates her independence rather than feeling threatened by it. Many people are conditioned to believe that love means constant closeness, dependency, and shared decision-making in every aspect of life. But for you, love is not about losing yourself in another person. It's about finding someone who enhances your already fulfilling life. The right partner for a Sigma female understands that your solitude isn't a sign of disinterest, but a reflection of your inner strength. They don't see your independence as a barrier. Instead, they admire it. This person won't try to control your choices or demand more attention than you're willing to give. They won't take it personally when you need time alone to recharge. Instead, they will respect your space, support your ambitions, and trust in the connection without needing constant reassurance. So how do you spot this kind of partner? Pay attention to their reaction to your boundaries. If they respect your need for solitude without making you feel guilty, that's a sign of emotional maturity. If they celebrate your achievements rather than feeling intimidated by them, they are secure in themselves. A confident partner will never try to dim your light to make themselves shine. They will stand beside you, proud of who you are without trying to change you. Avoid those who mistake independence for emotional unavailability. Some people will try to convince you that being in a relationship means sacrificing your personal time and goals for the sake of compromise. But true compromise doesn't mean giving up who you are. It means building something meaningful together while still maintaining your individual strengths. When you meet someone who truly values your independence, you will feel free, not restricted. Your conversations will flow effortlessly, not revolve around proving yourself or constantly explaining why you don't fit the usual mold. You won't have to defend your choices or pretend to be less than you are to make them feel secure. The right person won't be intimidated by your strength. They will be inspired by it. They will walk beside you, not ahead or behind. And when you find that kind of connection, you'll realize that true love isn't about dependency or control. It's about mutual respect, freedom, and unwavering support. 2. Setting standards that attract the right people, not push them away. One of the biggest misconceptions about dating as a Sigma female is that having high standards means being too picky or unrealistic. But let's set the record straight. Your standards aren't a problem. They're a filter. They exist to protect you from wasting time on people who don't align with your values and to ensure that when the right person comes along, they truly deserve a place in your life. Society often teaches women to settle, to compromise their needs for the sake of companionship, to lower their expectations because nobody's perfect. But think about it. Would you tell a business owner to hire someone unqualified just because they're available? Would you tell an athlete to give up on training because their goals are too ambitious? Of course not. So why should relationships be any different? Having high standards isn't about being demanding. It's about being deliberate. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to entertain people who don't meet your core values. That means you don't waste energy on people who play games, who can't communicate openly, or who expect you to be less independent to make them feel more secure. Your standards don't drive away the right people, they repel the wrong ones. So how do you set and maintain these standards? Start by defining your non-negotiables. These aren't superficial preferences like height, looks, or how much money someone makes. Instead, they're the values and behaviors that determine the foundation of a healthy, lasting relationship. Do you need someone who respects your personal space? Someone who shares your ambition? Someone who values honesty and direct communication? These are your non-negotiables, the things you should never compromise on. Next, recognize the difference between standards and preferences. Preferences are things you like but can live without, such as shared hobbies or similar taste in music. Standards, on the other hand, are things you need, things that determine whether a relationship will truly support your growth. When you understand this distinction, you'll stop wasting time on relationships that feel almost right, but never truly align with who you are. Some people might say you're too difficult or that your expectations are too high. Let them talk. The people who say this are often the ones who benefit from others having weak boundaries. The right partner won't just meet your standards, they will respect, appreciate, and rise to them. 3. Balancing strength with emotional connection. As a Sigma female, strength is your natural state. You're independent, self-sufficient, and capable of handling life on your own terms. You don't rely on anyone to complete you, and that's a rare and powerful trait. But here's something important. Being strong doesn't mean shutting yourself off from emotional connection. In fact, true strength comes from knowing when to let the right person in. Many people mistake independence for emotional distance. They assume that because you don't depend on others, you don't need love or deep connections. But the truth is, you crave connection just as much as anyone else. You just approach it differently. You want a relationship that's built on trust, respect, and real depth, not superficial attachment. So how do you balance your strength with emotional intimacy? First, recognize that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's power. Opening up to someone you trust doesn't make you any less independent. It makes your connection stronger. The key is choosing who deserves that side of you. Not everyone gets access to your emotions, and that's okay. You should never feel pressured to be vulnerable with someone who hasn't earned your trust. Second, find someone who appreciates your independence, but also understands your emotional needs. A strong partner will know that just because you're capable of handling things alone doesn't mean you always want to. They will give you space when you need it, but will also be there when you're ready to share. The best relationships aren't about dependency. They're about two strong individuals supporting each other. Third, communicate your emotional needs clearly. As a Sigma female, you may not be the type to express your feelings in overly sentimental ways, but that doesn't mean you don't feel deeply. If you're with the right person, they won't expect you to be someone you're not, but they will appreciate when you express what you need in a relationship. Whether it's needing time to process emotions, preferring direct communication over mind games, or valuing quality time over constant attention, your needs matter, and the right partner will respect them. Balancing strength with emotional connection isn't about changing who you are. It's about recognizing that you can be both independent and deeply connected. You don't have to compromise your power to have love. You just have to find someone who understands how to love you the right way. 4. Building a relationship that adds to your life, not limits it. As a Sigma female, the last thing you want is a relationship that restricts your growth, drains your energy, or makes you feel trapped. You thrive on independence, ambition, and freedom. So the idea of being in a partnership that demands you shrink yourself is simply not an option. For you, Love isn't about possession. It's about mutual growth. The right relationship should feel like an expansion, not a limitation. But too often, people enter relationships that require them to sacrifice their personal goals, friendships, or even their individuality. You've likely seen this happen. Someone gets into a relationship and suddenly stops pursuing their dreams, loses touch with their passions, or bends their entire life to accommodate their partner. That will never be you. So how do you ensure that your relationship adds to your life instead of limiting it? First, choose someone who respects your autonomy. A strong partner won't feel threatened by your independence. They will celebrate it. They won't demand constant attention or make you feel guilty for prioritizing your goals. Instead, they will encourage you to keep growing, evolving, and becoming the best version of yourself. A secure partner understands that loving you doesn't mean controlling you. It means supporting you. Second, maintain your individuality within the relationship. Many people lose themselves in love, but as a Sigma female, you know that a great relationship should allow you to remain you. Keep your hobbies, friendships, and personal time intact. The right partner won't require you to abandon the things that bring you joy. They will be inspired by your dedication to them. Relationships don't mean merging into one identity. They mean two complete individuals building something meaningful together. Third, never compromise on your life's purpose for the sake of a relationship. If your goals and ambitions are important to you, they should be important to your partner as well. You don't need someone who just tolerates your drive. You need someone who respects it and wants to see you succeed. If your partner expects you to downplay your success or make yourself smaller for the sake of their ego, that's a red flag. Love should lift you higher, not hold you back. At the end of the day, a relationship should be a partnership, not a restriction. The right love will never require you to sacrifice your happiness, your dreams, or your individuality. Instead, it will push you to thrive in ways you never imagined. 5. Knowing when to walk away from the wrong relationships. One of the greatest strengths of a Sigma female is her ability to walk away from anything that no longer serves her. You don't settle, you don't force things to work, and you definitely don't stay in a relationship that makes you feel unfulfilled. While many people cling to unhealthy relationships out of fear of being alone, you understand that loneliness is far better than being trapped in something toxic, draining, or stagnant. But knowing when to walk away isn't always easy. Society conditions people, especially women, to believe that relationships should be endured, that love requires sacrifice, and that staying is a sign of commitment. You reject that mindset. You know that real love should enhance your life, not deplete it. So how do you recognize when it's time to leave? The first sign is when you start to feel like you have to shrink yourself. If you feel like your partner is intimidated by your success, your independence, or your confidence, and they try to make you feel guilty for it, it's time to reconsider the relationship. You should never have to downplay your ambitions to make someone else feel secure. The second sign is a lack of respect. Respect is the foundation of any strong relationship. If your partner dismisses your boundaries, belittles your opinions, or makes you feel like your needs don't matter, they are not the right person for you. A strong relationship is built on mutual appreciation, not one person constantly making sacrifices while the other takes advantage. The third sign is emotional exhaustion. Relationships take effort, but they should never feel like a constant struggle just to be understood, valued, or appreciated. If you're always explaining why you need space, why you won't tolerate certain behaviors, or why you have high standards, then you're wasting energy on someone who isn't aligned with your values. The right partner will never make you feel like loving them is hard work. The final sign is that your gut is telling you to leave. Sigma females are highly intuitive, and when something feels off, it usually is. If you constantly have to justify your relationship to yourself or ignore red flags, it's time to listen to that inner voice. Walking away doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're choosing yourself over a relationship that isn't serving you. At the end of the day, leaving a relationship that isn't right for you is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that you value your peace, your happiness, and your future too much to waste it on the wrong person. The right relationship will never require you to sacrifice your self-worth. And when you let go of what's wrong, you create space for what's truly meant for you. 6. Creating boundaries that protect your energy and peace. As a Sigma female, your energy is one of your most valuable assets. You don't waste it on meaningless interactions, unnecessary drama, or people who drain you emotionally. You understand that protecting your peace is not selfish, it's essential. And the key to maintaining that peace in relationships? Strong boundaries. Many people misunderstand boundaries. They think setting them means pushing people away or being difficult, but in reality, boundaries are about self-respect. They define how you expect to be treated, what you will and won't tolerate, and how you protect your emotional and mental well-being. When you have strong boundaries, you filter out the people who can't handle your standards, leaving only those who truly value and respect you. So how do you set and maintain boundaries in a relationship? First, be clear about what you will and won't accept. If you need space, alone time, or independence in your relationship, state it openly. If constant texting, emotional manipulation, or clinginess are deal breakers, make that clear from the start. The right person will respect your needs, while the wrong person will try to push against them. That's the first red flag to look out for. Second, enforce your boundaries without guilt. Many people will test you, especially those who are used to weak boundaries. They may call you too distant, say you're too independent, or try to convince you to compromise your needs for their comfort. Stand firm. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your peace. The right person won't make you feel bad for having standards. They'll admire you for them. Third, recognize that boundaries aren't just about space. They're also about emotional and mental well-being. If someone constantly brings negativity into your life, creates unnecessary stress, or doesn't respect your time, they are violating your boundaries. You deserve a relationship where you feel safe, valued, and energized, not one that leaves you emotionally exhausted. Finally, understand that people who can't respect your boundaries are showing you exactly who they are. A partner who truly values you will never try to manipulate, guilt trip, or force their way past your limits. They will see your strength, your independence, and your need for balance. And they will support you, not challenge you on it. At the end of the day, setting and maintaining strong boundaries isn't about keeping love out. It's about making sure only the right kind of love gets in. It's about protecting your peace, your energy, and your happiness, so that when the right person comes along, you're ready to build something meaningful, without ever losing yourself in the process. 7. Embracing solitude, while staying open to love. As a Sigma female, you don't just tolerate solitude, you thrive in it. Unlike many people who fear being alone, you understand that solitude isn't loneliness. It's a source of strength, clarity, and self-discovery. You're content in your own company, and you don't rely on external validation to feel fulfilled. But just because you enjoy being alone doesn't mean you don't want love. The key is finding a balance between embracing your solitude and staying open to the right connection. Many women are conditioned to believe that being single is a problem that needs fixing. They're told to constantly search for a partner, to put themselves out there, or to settle for any relationship just to avoid being alone. You reject that narrative. You know that being single is not a waiting period. It's an opportunity to grow, to focus on yourself, and to build the life you want. And if love comes along, it should be an addition, not a necessity. So how do you stay open to love without compromising your independence? First, trust that the right relationship will find you naturally. You don't need to chase or force connections. Love isn't something you hunt for. It's something that aligns with your energy when the time is right. The best relationships happen when two complete individuals come together, not when one person is looking for someone to fill a void. You are already whole. Second, be intentional about who you allow into your life. Because you value your solitude, you won't let just anyone disrupt your peace. This means being selective about who gets your time and energy. If someone makes you feel drained, uneasy, or pressured to change who you are, they're not the right fit. The right partner will complement your solitude, not compete with it. They will understand that your need for space isn't rejection, it's simply part of who you are. Third, learn to recognize when someone truly respects your independence. Some people will mistake your self-sufficiency as a challenge. They'll try to prove that you need them or pressure you into changing your ways to fit their expectations. Avoid these people. The right person won't try to fix what isn't broken. Instead, they will admire your ability to stand on your own, while also appreciating the moments when you choose to share your life with them. At the end of the day, being a Sigma female means knowing that love is a choice, not a requirement. You don't need a relationship to feel complete, but when the right person comes along, someone who respects your space, supports your growth, and embraces your independence, you'll welcome them into your world without hesitation. Until then, you're perfectly happy living life on your own terms. 8. Recognizing a partner who matches your energy. As a Sigma female, you don't just want any relationship, you want the right relationship. You're not looking for someone to complete you or rescue you because you are already whole. Instead, you seek a connection that aligns with your values, ambitions, and independence. You need a partner who doesn't just admire your strength from a distance, but understands it, respects it, and thrives alongside it. So, how do you recognize someone who matches your energy? First, they will respect your independence. The right partner will never try to control you, smother you, or make you feel guilty for needing space. They will celebrate your self-sufficiency, not see it as a challenge to overcome. A secure person won't feel threatened by your independence. Instead, they'll encourage it, knowing that a healthy relationship is built on two strong individuals, not dependency. Second, they will challenge you in the right way. A true match won't just agree with everything you say or follow you without question. They will have their own ambitions, their own passions, and their own perspectives that push you to grow. The best relationships are partnerships where both people inspire each other to reach new levels, not where one person constantly leads while the other follows. Look for someone who stimulates your mind, respects your opinions, and makes you think, not someone who just goes along with whatever you say. Third, they will match your emotional intelligence. As a Sigma female, you value deep conversations and meaningful interactions over small talk and superficial connections. The right partner will understand this and won't waste your time with mind games or unnecessary drama. They will communicate openly, respect your need for honesty, and never make you feel like you have to guess their intentions. A real connection is built on clarity, not confusion. Fourth, they will be secure in themselves. You've probably encountered people who are intimidated by your confidence, who try to control you out of insecurity, or who need constant reassurance. These types of relationships are exhausting. Instead, you need someone who is equally confident in who they are, someone who has their own goals, their own drive, and doesn't need to bring you down to feel good about themselves. Confidence attracts confidence, and the right partner will add to your power, not diminish it. Finally, they will understand that love should be an enhancement, not an obligation. The person who matches your energy won't try to possess you or make you feel like you owe them your time and attention. They will recognize that you choose to be with them, not because you need to, but because you genuinely want to. And that's the most powerful kind of love, one that is freely given, not one that is demanded. At the end of the day, the right partner won't make you question your worth, your independence, or your life choices. They will stand beside you as an equal, supporting your journey while pursuing their own. If someone tries to control, manipulate, or limit you, they are not your match. Your energy is rare, and the right person will recognize it without hesitation. 9. Understanding that love should elevate, not diminish you. Love should never feel like a burden, a responsibility, or something that requires you to sacrifice the very essence of who you are. As a Sigma female, you don't settle for relationships that drain your energy, control your freedom, or force you to play a role that doesn't align with your true self. You understand that love is meant to elevate you, not diminish you. However, too many people enter relationships where they begin to shrink, toning down their personalities, lowering their ambitions, and silencing their voices just to make a partner feel comfortable. You refuse to do that. The right love doesn't ask you to be less. It inspires you to be more. The moment you feel like you have to suppress your dreams, limit your independence, or conform to someone else's expectations just to keep the peace, it's a sign that the relationship is not right for you. A true partner will admire your drive, not be intimidated by it. They will support your ambitions, not compete with them. They will recognize your strength as an asset, not a threat. This is why it's crucial to observe how a potential partner reacts to your success, your confidence, and your ability to stand on your own. If they encourage you to pursue your goals, celebrate your achievements without jealousy, and understand your need for autonomy, they are someone worth considering. But if they make passive-aggressive comments about your independence, try to guilt-trip you for not prioritizing them over your own needs, or subtly try to make you feel like you're too much, they are showing you that they are not equipped to handle the depth of who you are. Relationships should feel like partnerships, where both people lift each other up and create space for individual and shared growth. The right partner will see you as an equal, not someone they need to fix, control, or dim down. They will value your voice, respect your boundaries, and never make you feel like loving them requires self-sacrifice. Love should amplify your happiness, not take away from it. It should fit into your life naturally, not feel like a weight you have to carry. The moment a relationship starts making you feel like you're losing yourself instead of growing, it's time to walk away. Because the love you deserve will never require you to compromise your self-worth. The power of patience, waiting for the right love instead of settling. In a world where people rush into relationships out of fear of being alone, a Sigma female stands apart. You don't enter relationships out of desperation, boredom, or societal pressure. Instead, you understand the power of patience, knowing that the right love is worth waiting for, and that settling for the wrong one will only drain your energy and limit your growth. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that being single is a problem that needs fixing. They settle for mediocrity, ignoring red flags, compromising on their values, and staying in relationships that don't truly fulfill them just to avoid being alone. But as a Sigma female, you recognize that solitude is not a weakness. It's an advantage. It's in your moments of solitude that you grow, refine your vision for your life, and strengthen your standards. You aren't afraid of being alone because you know that your worth is not determined by your relationship status. It's determined by your character, your ambitions, and your happiness. Patience is not just about waiting. It's about actively building your best life while trusting that the right person will align with you when the time is right. Instead of wasting time chasing love, you focus on chasing your dreams, improving yourself, and surrounding yourself with meaningful experiences. You understand that love should complement your life, not be your sole purpose for existing. When you live authentically and stay committed to your goals, you naturally attract people who match your energy, people who admire your independence, respect your standards, and bring value to your life. The wrong people will see your high standards as an obstacle, but the right one will see them as a challenge they're willing to rise to. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that any relationship is better than being single. This mindset leads to heartbreak, wasted time, and unnecessary emotional stress. As a Sigma female, you know better. You refuse to let loneliness push you into a relationship that doesn't serve you. You understand that a meaningful connection takes time, and that you would rather be single and thriving than in a relationship that forces you to settle. Your patience is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength, self-respect, and wisdom. It's a declaration that you would rather walk alone than walk beside someone who doesn't truly value you. And when the right person does come along, they won't ask you to wait, chase, or compromise your worth. They will meet you where you are, ready to build something real. Finding love as a Sigma female isn't about fitting into the mold that society expects. It's about embracing your individuality and allowing the right connection to align with your life naturally. You don't chase validation, settle for surface-level relationships, or compromise your independence just to keep someone around. You are not looking for someone to complete you. because you are already whole. Instead, you seek a partnership that enhances your growth, respects your boundaries, and complements the life you've built for yourself. Too often, women are told they need to change, lower their standards, or be less intimidating to attract love. But as a Sigma female, you know that the right person will never ask you to shrink yourself to fit into their world. The right love will recognize your depth, appreciate your independence, and admire your confidence instead of feeling threatened by it. It won't require you to compromise your identity, it will amplify it. Love should never be about losing yourself to make someone else comfortable. It should be about finding someone who understands you, values you, and stands beside you as an equal. This is why patience is your greatest advantage. You refuse to let loneliness dictate your choices, and you don't let societal pressure rush you into a relationship that doesn't align with your values. Instead, you wait, not passively, but with purpose. You continue building your life, investing in yourself, and growing into the best version of who you are. And because of this, you naturally attract people who match your energy. The wrong ones will fall away, and the right one will recognize your worth without hesitation. At the end of the day, true love doesn't feel like a burden, it feels like freedom. It gives you space to be yourself while offering support, encouragement, and partnership. So never apologize for your strength, never lower your standards to make someone else comfortable, and never believe that you have to compromise your values for love. The love you deserve will never ask you to choose between your independence and your relationship. It will honor both. Subscribe to the Sigma Sisterhood channel because real women don't chase, settle, or shrink for love. They wait for love that is worthy of them.